Mr. Update, Nick Delgado here at Guam Homeland Security. The very latest on Typhoon Wutip. Krystal Paco here, from the governor's spokesperson now. Chris, good to be with you again.
Reunited.
Yeah, of course, my TV wife here, but got to get to the big story here. Typhoon Wutip has been passing through our area late this past week into the weekend. What's the latest? Are we in the clear?
We are in the clear. NWS, National Weather Service, has advised us, they have recommended that we are in the clear as Super Typhoon Wutip continues to move away from the Marianas, and we are in condition of readiness 4. That was effective 1 p.m. Acting Governor Joshua Tenorio declared condition of readiness 4 again at 1 p.m. That means we are not expecting damaging winds at this time.
Right, and of course a lot of the government officials have been out there, Chris, you've been mentioning to us, working as hard as they can to keep everything status quo and as business as usual while the storm was passing through the Marianas. Any major concern while responding and doing the checks out there?
You know, I think our administration and all our partners and everyone we were working around the clock before the storm made landfall. You know, I think that's a big part of helping to alleviate recovery time is preparedness. And so prior to even the storm making its closest point of approach to the island, we had DPW out, DPW out, like ready, taking all the debris, clearing debris. We had crews working around the clock again before, during, and after to alleviate the time for recovery. So we're seeing very little to no recovery needed. I did go on the windshield assessment with the governor, the acting governor, this morning. We did focus our efforts down south. Again, there was the high surf advisory, and they did receive the biggest amount of rainfall in Araha, notably 17 inches. And so they were most vulnerable during Super Typhoon Wutip. And so we checked them. We made our rounds to Pneumatic Bridge is always a problem point. There was no issues there. Then we visited Mayor Ernest Chargala from Maritzo. If you're familiar with Barcenas, the Barcenas area, there's this gutter area that always fills with debris, always floods. That was not the issue. DPW was positioned there since early Saturday morning to remove debris, and so we were there this morning. Perfect.
And with all the workers out there, that being said, people were affected by the storm when it comes to the lack of power, lack of water, but that's going to be back up and running?
And those are minor, and those are expected rather, and then those are isolated. We do have, Guam Power Authority assuring us that they are actively working to re-energize those who may have lost power during the winds, during the heavy rain. And so, you all can always report those to the Guam Power Authority. They have the 24-hour numbers, as well as, ironically, you can report it on Facebook, directly on their Facebook page.
Yeah, and of course the government offices will be open tomorrow, first thing Monday.
Yes, you must go to work. I know we lost our weekend, but...
And it's good for a lot of those who need to go to web and tax the courts and the like, but the big answer the big question that everyone wants answered, will there be school tomorrow? And I know that's something that you guys will be working before tomorrow morning to answer.
We're communicating with the Department of Education, and we are learning that they are sending their staff, their principals, to the shelters, the 5 identified shelters, to assess whether or not we can open schools tomorrow. Most likely, I would recommend that students, you stay tuned, because you probably have school tomorrow. I know your fingers crossed, right? If you're a student, that you don't have school. But again, only 5 of the schools were used as shelters. They're making assessments, though, as for damages. We should know by later this afternoon, so stay tuned. The Department of Education continues to work with the Joint Information Center to put that out. But again, just keep it in mind that you probably have school tomorrow. You can quote me on that.
Yeah, of course we didn't see too much of the damages around the island, so it could be the same for those public schools that were used as shelters. So we'll wait and see. Of course, we will have all that information with the very latest on Typhoon Wutip, as now it's out of our hair, so to speak, on our KUAM social media platforms, as well as on KUAM.com. For now, Nick Delgado.